What's up, design family, and welcome back to another episode of Fittdesign TV. So glad to have you back on the channel. On today's episode, we'll be looking at the ins and outs of hiring and booking models. On a previous episode, we looked at the different types of models that you can actually consider hiring. Hopefully now you should have been able to make a decision based on the episode, which of these models is the right option for you. So on today's episode, we'll specifically be looking at the things that you should be considering beforehand when looking to book a model so that you can do it professionally and that all parties involved are 100% satisfied with the partnership. What's up, design family, and welcome to Fittdesign TV. So glad to have you here. On this channel, we discuss all things sports fashion, graphic design, manufacturing, and technology. We'll discuss key topics, answer pressing questions, and provide actionable steps on starting your own product line. If you're interested in any of the above topics, stick around. You're in for a good one. There are actually 9 key things that you should consider, and we'll start off with the simplest of them all. This is going to be number 1, the model's pay rate. Is the pay rate charged per hour or is it charged per day? This should be outlined beforehand and it should be made clear between all parties in terms of how the charged rate is going to be actually calculated. So make sure to get it in writing beforehand. Number 2 is going to be the preparation time. You need to factor in makeup, hairstyling, dressing, and if necessary, rehearsal time. You need to pay attention to the fact that all of this time will actually be charged at the model's full pay rate. So allocate the necessary budget and time for this. Number 3 is going to be the agency service rate. Should you be hiring a model through an agency, you'll also need to factor in the agency's service fee that they're going to charge on top of the model's pay rate. Number 4, we have our license fee. A license fee essentially is going to be charged if the images you take of the model are going to end up being used for commercial purposes. So when it comes to this specific coordination, you need to outline 3 things. First is going to be the type of media. So are the images going to be used for digital, advertising, publishing, or editorial, or are they going to be used for packaging? The period of time that these images are going to be used. So make sure to outline for how long these photos are going to be used for, as far as you can actually estimate quite accurately. And lastly is going to be the location. In which regions of the world are these photos going to be used? Number 5 is an exclusivity fee. If you'd actually prefer the model that you're using to avoid being photographed by competitors in your space. This is something you can do, but make sure to discuss it with the agency beforehand, as this will typically be charged at an additional rate or a service cost. Number 6, make sure to consider the overtime rate. This is going to be a fee that is charged if you plan on booking a model outside of their regular office hours or even during public holidays. So make sure you figure this out beforehand. Number 7, we have the type of model. For example, if you plan on booking a model that doesn't show his or her face, this will typically cost less than one that does. This is specifically used for catalog shoots where hair and styling and specific makeup cues are not necessary because of the way the photos are shot. So again, do bear in mind the end use of your photos, as this will actually outline the type of model that you end up booking. Number 8 is going to be the model's appearance. After you finish the casting, remember to let your model's agency know if you wish for them to make sure that the model retains a specific part of their appearance for your photo shoot. A great example of this is something like their hairstyle. If you specifically like the way that they did their hair and the way that that coordinated with the rest of their look, and that's something you wanted to incorporate into your shoot, make sure you let them know not to change that. Last but not least is going to be the model's personality. At the end of the day, business is about human-to-human connections. So making sure that the model fits the personality of someone that you would enjoy working with and that you'd be willing to work with on a long-term basis or even on a short-term basis is an essential part of picking the right person to set yourself up for success. Well, that is a wrap on this episode, guys. By now, you should have a better grasp on the intricacies of model hire. That way, you can approach your next model hire with the knowledge and the information necessary to make sure that all parties involved are 100% satisfied with the results of the shoot and the actual partnership between model and brand. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Fittdesign TV. Again, if you guys are not subscribed, please consider doing so. We put out great content on a week-to-week basis, actually twice a week, every Wednesday and Sunday, and haven't missed a beat in 2 years. So definitely consider subscribing. You guys won't regret it. Again, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Fittdesign TV. Until next episode, stay awesome.